Hello again, everyone. My name is Ethan, and today I will show you how I create my cheap travel notebook for my Canlaon trip. Okay?
Ethan, yeah,
I usually prepare some kind of a travel notebook beforehand when I go on a solo travel. Because unlike many travel journalists you see on social media and YouTube, my travel notebooks are mostly for practical purposes. Well, I put in some memorable items in them sometimes, but they're absolutely more of a guide to me, or things that I can look through when my mind is starting to wander around. So the first item rather I need is this one. A standard, very cheap notebook. Now, this one is only 18 pesos or 36 US cents. And this is a common notebook used by grade school students. I still have a few notebooks with lots of empty spaces from way back 1990s to 2000s. During my school years, I could use them too. Now, I really don't understand people who buy fancy and expensive notebooks that are around 300 pesos or 6 US dollars for their travel notebooks or even just for journaling. In a few months or so after the trip, you'll forget a lot of these things anyway, and these notebooks will just be clutter around your home in years to come. So I would rather be stingy and opt for these less than 20 pesos notebooks. Besides, the best memories are those that linger on your mind. Charot, I actually don't know if I said it right or if I'm making sense to you. Most of the people I know who buy fancy or expensive notebooks do not use their notebooks anyway. It's funny because since it is fancy looking or expensive looking, they would rather not stain it with anything. In short, they won't use it or write anything on it. So weird. We also need some washi tapes or decorative tapes. Well, these ones are new and I think they're just cheap at 40 pesos or one fifth of or 4/5 of a dollar. These ones are from expressions and hashtag not sponsored. Yeah, these are new ones. Hashtag can't resist. But I do have many washi tapes in stock. I could use them also if I have the time. Also, ordinary masking tapes or tapes will do. Actually, any arts and crafts adhesive will also work. We have the glue stick, and this tape, glue tape. You'll also need a pen, obviously. One color will do, but you can use as many colors as you want. But since I'm lazy and cheap, I usually use black pen. This is one of the cheapest pen you can get in our area. So sometimes I also use red and blue pens. I also bring these pens during the trip. I wasn't supposed to make this travel notebook for the Canlaon City trip because I was supposed to have a travel companion with me. Hi Atenins! But since she hinted that there might be conflict of schedule with her work, I am just preparing myself that this might be a solo trip. If so, it's going to be my first solo trip traveling outside the city and into other provinces. It's kinda scary for me because I am not really good with traveling to and through rural areas. Unlike when you're in a major city where when you're completely lost, you can just hail a taxi or cab home.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me.
This Canlaon City trip is a good opportunity for a trip to Bacolod City. Should I?
Fly away with me. Come and 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 fly away with me.
So let's continue. I told you earlier that I was a lazy person. Actually, I am also short on time, so I don't have enough time to read and study and analyze my options available regarding the information I will put on my travel notebook pages. So I ended up scanning or skimming through related travel blogs and websites that might help me along the road. I then cut and paste the important text on Microsoft Word, print it out on paper, and I will then literally cut out the paper and stick it on my notebook pages. So, this is my printout related to my accommodation options, and shout out to Roda InStyle.com for her detailed and updated blog post on Canlaon accommodations. I included the contact details, address, and some of Rhoda's comments on my printout. There are only a handful accommodation options in Canlaon, and most or all of which are not available in booking websites. So, it's important for me to have these things in my travel notebook so I can look through or refer to it, refer to them when needed. When I travel, I always assume that I won't have mobile data on my phone. That's why I usually have printouts. These are some of Rhoda's comments. I included them in my printout to help me decide which one I should be booking. No, I only get to book these rooms when I finally get there. I mean, when I'm finally in Canlaon, I only get to book this there because they're not available in any online booking websites. But I could also contact them through these numbers. So we have FC Guest House, Canlaon City Pension, Mountain City Tourist Inn, and RHR Tourist Inn. When I create printables for my travel notebook, this bond paper is a good fit. I get confused if this is the letter size or the legal size. In my country, we just call it short bond paper. It's 8.5 inches by 11 inches. So when you fold it, it fits just right in my notebook. See? A little adjustment and it's going to be a good fit. So when creating your MS Word documents or MS Word files for your printables, you'll have to consider your margins. It depends on the paper size you use. I usually just eyeball it like this one. And for this short bond paper, although it fits snugly in my notebook, I think my printer forces me to have at least 0.5 inch margins. Crazy HP printer. Now, based on my research, I find out that there's only one schedule daily for the bus that can drop me in Canlaon, direct from where I am, and that's Cebu. So, unfortunately, it's an early morning trip, so there's a possibility that I might miss it. I hope not. Well, fortunately for me, there are some do-it-yourself travel options that I can try to get me into the destination. But this means I have to go through a series of buses and ferry boats and vans for hire to get me there. In short, I need to research the schedules of the potential vehicles that I will be riding. Ta-da! Luckily, there are blogs that are dedicated in providing the schedules. These ones are the schedules of some of the bus terminals or bus stations I will be going through. Shout out once again to roadinstyle.com for the information on Canlaon trips. Also, shout out to the following blogs for the Cebu to Bacolod bus schedules. We have the Visayanblogger.com and superferrypromofair.com. Hashtag not sponsored. You check them out, guys. Basically, what I do is I just collect the information provided by the blogs and input everything on Microsoft Excel or any digital spreadsheets so that I can create a printable like this one that's very much convenient to me to look at. I easily get overloaded with information, and thus I have to rearrange them in a logical way as much as possible. For me, I want to sort them by bus terminal and departure times, so that wherever or whichever bus station I'm in, I can easily determine when the next bus is going to leave, the next bus that I can ride on. Most often, you'll encounter conflicting information on the schedules, so you need to indicate on your database which ones you're not sure of. Mine have it in blue, and I don't know why I use blue for no reason. So here's my printout for the seaports. One for the Toledo port and one for the San Carlos port. That's actually going to and going back. Shout out to escapemanila.com and to Road in Style once again for the schedules of the ships and ferry boats. Thank you so much. I also printed out some versions of the maps of my destination. Now I know you people will tell me that I can just use Google Maps. Well, as much as I love technology, I always plan my trips with the thoughts of, what if there's no mobile data? What if my phone runs out of juice? What if there's no electricity or there's power outage? Those paranoid stuff, really. Well, it's just better to be prepared. So from here, I'll basically cut out these printouts and stick them up on the pages of my travel notebook. You don't have to stress yourself out thinking which you should stick first. Worst case scenario, you can simply add labels or bookmarks on the pages, like what I did in my Bangkok travel notebook. Or you can add an index page at the end of the notebook, like what lovers of bullet journals do. So see you in a short while. I'll probably fast forward some segments or cut everything out completely in this video.
Fly away with me. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views.
So this is basically my travel notebook that I can bring with me just in case I'll be solo traveling to Canlaon City. But hopefully Atenins gets to resolve her conflicting schedule, so I have a companion. And in that case, I won't need this notebook. So here are the pages for the accommodation options that I can refer to. And I can also take note of the highlights of the establishments or write down my own notes based on what I read online. And here are my personalized information sheet. Information sheet for the trip schedules of buses and boats. Then the rest of the pages, I'll be using them to put in some flat travel mementos like tickets, brochures, but in my experience, I'll mostly be sticking receipts on them. I can also add in my travel clothing plan itches or a packing checklist. Or maybe add a to-do checklist, although based on my own experience I won't be able to do most of them anyway. And some pages I can use for money related stuff like budget, expenses, and cash monitoring, like what I did in my travel notebook for Bangkok. And then some pages I can use to write reviews of hotels or jot down travel thoughts, like what I did in my travel notebook for Saigon. These are my blog topics, my supposedly blog topics. This is my love letter to Saigon. Terrible handwriting. Or you can even doodle random stuff along the way, like what I did in my travel notebook for Melaka, Malaysia. So when I finally get to travel, I bring this notebook along with a black pen, or possibly include other pens with different colors, and a roll of washi tape or ordinary tape. So that's all about how I create my travel notebook, and this one for Canlaon City, Negros. See you again next time. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, guys, and bye.
Thank you for watching.